Hey guys and girls, this is Sam from Sam's Tinkering Around. Uh, so this is day 75 post stem cell transplant. Been out of the hospital for a little while, trying to get to feeling better. Most days, uh, general weakness, just not, wanting to kind of get up and do stuff, That's um so with that being said, day 75, 25 days away from being able to go and do stuff by myself. Drive my car by myself, all that kind of stuff. Go to clinic by myself. I've been doing 2 days a week since I got out of the hospital at clinic because they're keeping a close watch on my blood work. So after the 100 days, which is January 31st, we go to 1 day a week, I think. That'll be great. So my numbers are staying pretty solid. The doctors and nurse practitioners are okay with it. They're fluctuating. They said that was common. My blood platelets the last time I was in was 150 something. Today they were 130 something. They didn't like plummet to the bottom, so they're not real concerned with that. White count is up, so I'm still having to wear a mask out in public, places where I go. So I've had a couple of little hiccups that, hair's not come back yet. It's trying to come back here. My mustache has come back and it's trying to fill in. I know you can't see it on the camera, but this is coming back in, and I don't know, you might be able to see it. But anyway, where was I? Sometimes you just forget. So the numbers are staying okay with the doctors. All right. So I've had a couple of graft issues. So I broke out on my chest, and it was a rash, and that's graft versus host syndrome. They put me on Zyrtec the first time. They gave me hydrocortisone for my head because it was really weird. I was feeling really hot at night, and I had all these bumps on my neck. The first time I didn't know what it was, but it was graft versus host. So the Zyrtec and the two creams that they gave me, the hydrocortisone for my head and face, took care of that. And they gave me this cream that was for the neck down. It says really, really strong. Do not put it on your face. It's okay. So we did that for a couple of weeks, and then I started noticing this stuff coming back on my chest. and my face was feeling hot at night. I went to bed 1 or 2 nights with a cool rag on my head. Yeah, so the Zyrtec, I got back on the Zyrtec as soon as I realized, this stuff was coming back. And it's typical stem cell transplant, and they expect these things. What they don't want is full-blown graft versus host. That so all this is because I did not have a family member. Well, really, because I didn't have my own stem cells. I didn't have my own blood. Mine were broken, and it would have done no good to take my stem cells and put them back in, because they were broken. They weren't doing what they were supposed to do. So, I know I've mentioned this in videos prior that, my donor was a 30-year-old guy from Europe. Yeah, so I got AB positive blood put into me, stem cells, blood. My blood type is O positive. I had a rough time of it when I didn't have a massive reaction, but fever, chills, shakes, uncontrollable. But they managed all that. But the biggest thing right now is the Tacro, which is the drug they're using to keep, it's the immune depressant drugs. It keeps going higher and higher, my levels in my blood. They've got me cut back to 2.5 milligrams a day now. They had, at first I wouldn't take, and they couldn't get my levels up, and then it just got really high, and I started getting all these tremors, shakes. So, sometimes I still feel the tremors, and I still got the shakes, because it is still kind of high. So today they told me to back off. But in general, I'm feeling okay. I'm still not back at work. This is day 75 post-transplant. The last day that I actually worked was October 14th, 2024. Yeah. So we're shooting. I'm shooting for the end of October. I mean, the end of October. The end of February. Because Doc ain't gonna let me go back on day 100. That ain't gonna happen. So I gotta keep everything in check. I'm taking like 10 pills in the morning, 10 pills at night, 4 pills at lunchtime. A lot of stuff. So, this was just, I wanted to get on and say something to you guys, because I know you've been watching. I hadn't been on in probably 20 days. I haven't really felt like posting. I felt like I needed to, but I just, just didn't feel like it. So this whole stem cell transplant, no matter how dark, for you guys that are running across this and are So, malleodysplasic syndrome. That is what I was diagnosed with. And my stem cells were broken. They were making blood cells, but they weren't maturing, so they never got out in my well, some of them were maturing, or I wouldn't have any blood cells at all. So my my platelet level, which is your clotting factor, was, sometimes it was around 50, sometimes it would be high as 70. My white count was low, red count was low, but that's what malleodysplasic syndrome was. And they said I had a 10% blast in my bone marrow. The blast are the cancerous stuff. So after, so we go in the hospital. We get they give me chemo for 6 days straight, and then I get a break, and then they gave me total body radiation. And I can see it going back through my head, the visit in the hospital. I was in there for 25 days. And then I got a break, and that weekend I got more chemo. They totally eradicated, burn out my immune system. And my white count was down to 0.01, which means you're susceptible to any kind of infection. Oh my gosh, like dying in the hospital from a bad infection. But, I was I was doing everything they told me to. I was showering with the surgical soap, and every day. You couldn't get back in bed before they changed your sheets, and it was a regiment every day of what you had to do. Just, it's crazy. The red light syndrome kept me from getting the mucositis. Yeah, I never got that. It was all great and wonderful. Never got sores in my mouth or anything. But no matter how dark they paint it, you don't know what it's like until you live through it. But I have come out on the top side of it, seeming like I'm doing okay. Glory to God. I don't feel like I could have made it through this. I mean, I'm not done yet. Okay, let's get that straight. We're only 75 days into this. I couldn't have made it this far without God's grace. Because it is so, we went 15, 16 days before my SATs, not my SATs, but my white count started picking up. I was starting to get worried, like, hey, is this going to work? Because if it hadn't have, man, I would have been in a world of hurt, boy living in a bubble kind of thing. But I'm doing okay. I'm feeling decent. They're weekly adjusting my medications. My hair is starting to come back in a little bit. Mustache for sure. That's all I got. I'm playing a little bit of guitar now. You know, when I first got home, I just, you know, didn't feel like doing much of anything. I've come a long way in the 75 days, I think. But peace out. Love each other. Treat each other good. That's all I got to say. You don't know what's coming tomorrow. Love y'all. Peace out.